Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the market follow for today, the 11th of August, 2025. We're excited to have every one of you here today during the market color. Straight up, we're going to be looking at a couple of pairs and then we'll be wrapping up today's market color. This session, we're looking at the follow-up on what happened in the morning versus what we expect to see the remaining parts of today. So those are the main things that we are looking out for today. So we're going to be starting off with the dollar index, of course, and then we'll move to Euro USD and GBP USD. Okay, so starting off with the dollar index, we analyzed in the morning that we wanted to see the dollar index straight to the upside. That was the analysis we made, and that was what we're looking out for in the morning on the dollar index. And we said we wanted to see it resume. Having filled up this fair value gap right here, I think we mentioned that in the morning. You can watch the recap on YouTube. So the moment we filled up this level right here, we became, the moment price filled up this fair value gap here, we became positive on with regards to the buy momentum on the dollar index. So it has already traded below 50, filled up this fair value gap, and then we became positive on this. Okay, so we're looking forward to seeing more further buys, and that is what is happening today. So we said we're expecting buys on the dollar index. As you can see on the 4-hour time frame is also buying. 1-hour time frame as well, it's buying, breaking structure. So we're clear that we're expecting a buy trend on the dollar index. So far, the dollar index is doing what we anticipated in the morning. Similar thing with Euro USD. We said we're expecting sales on Euro USD today. And as you can see, that price traded same way on the fair value gap, just like we had on the dollar index, traded into this fair value gap right here. And then afterwards, it is looking like it's resuming the downtrend from here because we had already broken structure. 4-hour time frame, we said the same thing. Wanted to see further sales to the downside, and you can see these sales are happening right now. And then on the 1-hour time frame as well, wanted to see price break this structure. Also on 15, we said we want to see price break here and confirm the sell trend. You can see it has broken here. So if you didn't get any sell trade, you can just wait for a return. Price will probably return to this level here. Yeah, so price will probably return to this level, and then we'll be selling it to the downside afterwards. Okay, so Euro USD is very ripe. I think I posted it a couple of minutes ago on the Telegram group that Euro USD is ripe for a sell. So if you're trading Euro USD, be looking out for a sell. Wait for price to just retrace, and then we're selling it massively to the downside. Then for GBP USD, very similar analysis as Euro USD. We also said we want to see it break this low. That is the low of Asia range. And right now, you're seeing that it has broken that range. So we are selling Euro USD and GBP USD massively this week. Okay, I'm expecting strong sales all the way to the downside. So I'll be looking out for it to see Euro USD getting or GBP USD getting to those areas. Let me quickly mark it with some alerts so that I'll get notified once it gets there. So once I see Euro USD and GBP USD in those areas, I'll get notified and then I'll be taking myself. So you can also do that if you have TradingView, especially if you have a subscription on TradingView. Just come here and click on this plus button to allow you to set a notification. So if price gets to this place, you'll be notified. So you can sell these currency pairs together. Okay. So make sure you're marking this out so that we can take advantage of this together today. All right. So that is what we're looking out for, and price is playing out according to our bias so far. So let's get ready to take those trades once they enter our points of interest. All right. So we're going to continue, and then we're looking at gold against the dollar, and then we'll look at yen basket and the yen pairs.
All right, thank you very much, CJ. That's a very great analysis. Now let's quickly look into what is going on the precious metal, gold particularly, and then from there we quickly get to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket and the yen credit pair. Just as I said this morning that we were expecting price after taking out this level, we expect price to tap into this 1-hour order block, then give a buy signature, then we can now easily buy up all the way into our 4-hour, POI here, which is the order block here. So, but if you look at that particular zone on the 15 minutes where price tapped into, right about now, we saw how that price almost, there was a rejection just few minutes ago to the upside, but yet we are seeing price, dragging heavily back to the downside, and that is simply telling us that because of the dollar strength that we have today, the precious metal is pushing through the downside. Let's now look at it from the 4-hour perspective. If this level fails, where exactly then is the precious metal coming to? Then that means it's coming to see liquidity around this low here at the 3,282 levels. And we won't hold our hands to see price come all the way there. Let's go back to the lower time frame to see if we have any buy signature for us to follow through to the downside. Right now, no. Instead, I'm seeing more of price, pushing up from this current level here all the way to the upside. Let's check 5-minute time frame if we have any move there that we can easily follow through. Right now we are seeing more like a real call strategy forming right about now for a buy signature, because this is a sweep of liquidity here. As we all know, this is a sweep of liquidity, and at the same time we've seen how that price came all the way to broke structure at the top here, all the way here. We can see that right now price already broke structure all the way here, and now price has reversed all the way back to that liquidity point. So where exactly are we heading to? Two things happen right about now. We can easily take a long of the precious metal right now with just this SL and just do 1:3 or 4, then we see what price becomes of it. So this is just the best move we want to look out for. But if this is being violated, then we should wait and see a sell signature formed, and we can easily follow through to the downside. But on the higher time frame where price is currently now, after taking up liquidity right now, then happens to be a buy zone that we can easily buy from all the way to the upside. So we can just take the opportunity right now for the buy of the precious metal to the upside. And where are we uploading from? We are uploading from the 4-hour order block. All right. I was seeking all the way to this liquidity point here. That is going to be another opportunity for us to trade. All right. So let's quickly look at what is going on the yen basket, and we can use that also for execution on the yen correlated pair. Just as we said this morning, we are still expecting the yen basket to push more to the downside, particularly if we're going to get to this zone, then we can now begin to see reaction to the upside again if that is going to happen. But the overall move that we are expecting this week on the yen basket still remains a sell, because we are expecting it to come and take out liquidity on the weekly time frame and tap into the weekly POI, which is the fair value gap. All right, so that is for the yen basket. And if this is what we're expecting on the yen basket, what should we look out for on the yen correlated pair, particularly JPY? Remember, for JPY on the daily time frame, we have this level marked out on the daily time frame, which is this fair value gap that we said this morning, that we are still expecting price to rally all the way to that level. However, on the lower time frame, 4-hour particularly, there are zones that we may likely see price get into and begin to turn to the downside, which is this shoulder here that we are seeing right here. This is the shoulder, and that becomes much more clearer on the 1-hour time frame. So if you look at the 1-hour time frame, we are going to see this is the shoulder. We've seen the sweep of liquidity, and we've seen the possible break to the downside. So we're expecting price to come properly tap into that zone, and also knowing fully well that there is a liquidity point, which is last 2 weeks ago, Friday high, is another liquidity point that price may want to target before going all the way to the downside. But if you have enough capital to risk entry at this particular point with your stop loss just above this high here, then that's a good one. But if you don't, you may just want to wait, hold on a bit, and allow price to take out liquidity from this level, and you start selling all the way to the downside. All right, so that is for GBP JPY. And lastly, for Euro JPY, what we have today for Euro JPY If you look at Euro JPY, our bias still remains that we still expect the long of it all the way to the upside for it to still buy more. All right. So if you look at it from the 4-hour time frame, we are going to observe, yes, we already have market structure shift to the downside, but we still expect more of price to retrace all the way to this zone and start selling from that level. That zone becomes much more obvious if you look at it from your 1-hour time frame. You're going to see that is the shoulder somewhere at this end here. This is the shoulder. We see the sweep and the break. So we are expecting price to retrace to that zone and we begin to sell all the way to the downside for Euro JPY. Knowing fully well that Euro JPY on the daily time frame already achieved its own target, trading into its own daily POI and is already pushing to the downside. So it's just waiting for other yen correlated pair to get their own POI and they all collapse together at the same time. If you want to know more about that, you can easily reach out to us for the value flow models that we watch for us to know which of the currency pair is lagging and how do we take advantage of it in trading the financial market. All right, so this is going to be it. If there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box so we quickly take a look at it. But our conclusion for Euro JPY is we still expect more of our markets to push to the upside. And if we are going to do that, just as we mark this morning, we have liquidity points here that price most likely going to come to that particular point. Then we now join the buy all the way to this 1-hour POI here. At this power POI here, meaning price getting to this point, we buy and we buy all the way to this point, this 4-hour POI, and we are going to sell again to the downside, which is the massive move we've been expecting for the Euro JPY. So that is our view on the Euro JPY, GBP JPY, the yen basket, and also for the precious metal all through. So if there's any question, you can easily let us know now. And if there is no question, this is going to be the end of the market call-off for today, being Monday. Oh, someone said, please, good again. You can easily quickly. Oh, so sorry about that network. All right, just a quick recap for the precious metal. What we are expecting on it is, if you look at it from our 1-hour POI, where we said we are expecting to buy from this zone, price already got there, and it gave an entry signature just a few minutes ago, which it did a 15-minute bullish engulfing candle. And we've seen how the price pull back all the way into it. That's why we said, well, now is when we can now, can execute for the precious metal buy all the way to the 4-hour POI that we said in the morning. But if this setup fail, then that means we should wait and look for a signature again for a sell. Then that means if this setup failed, that implies that we are selling all the way for price to come and take out liquidity at this particular point. So that is our outlook for the precious metal today. All right. So I believe you get that right now. If there is no further question, this is going to be the end of the market call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. To meet again tomorrow morning, 8:30 p.m. busy time. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. Once again, I'm Nick Cheers.